Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Labs Garage. Today we're going to be making some more strides in getting my 64 Falcon here back on the road for the first time in many years. But today, instead of working up under the hood, we're going to be working on pretty much things back behind the hood. To get this thing going, we got some work to do to the brakes and to the fuel system to get it ready. Specifically by that I mean the fuel tank is absolute garbage. The fuel lines I'm pretty sure are plugged solid. The brake lines are, I'm pretty sure, original to the car. So I'm going to be putting new ones of them on. I'm going to redo the rear brakes. So hang around and we're going to get this car close to being back on the road. Alright, so I just took the mat out of the trunk of this, and yeah, that's nice. Makes me feel real good about the fact that I'm getting ready to change this fuel tank, but the rest of the stuff around it, well, it looks horrible. And we got a little bit of seep through there, but that's alright. Yes, it looks horrible, but not that bad, but we're about to get this gas tank out of here. Alright, so I had a couple bolts that were damaged by the rust, too bad to get them off. So I'm using this Craftsman rounded nut extractor I got, and it works pretty good. Ah, crap, look at that. I don't have a new one of them either. Or do I? I might have one in the trunk of the Fairlane.
This company says that's a radiator does a good job.
Well, like I said, today I'm just interested in getting it out. I think I got one back there. You can get a Fernco and do it too. I've done it before. You got a knife?
Always.
Cut that lip line right off. I'll put a new one on. Sending unit. I think the line's disintegrated. Yep. Oh yeah, look at that line.
1964.
It's probably original. I don't think I had to worry about sucking trash out of the tank because it wasn't going through that line. I've also seen that the absence of this gas tank is not going to help my situation as far as getting to the brake lines and back. So that means I'll just go ahead and attach a new one, but while I got good access. Look at that. Yeah, no go. Well, I had planned on anyway replacing the hard line on this, and it's a good thing because I just looked at the hard line where it comes back here, and it is slam plugged. So anyway, go ahead and drop the new tank in here. So go ahead and put the new sending unit in the gas tank. Insert your sending unit. And put this rubber gasket on. As it goes right here, there's a groove on the tank itself. And then carefully set these location pads on there. And take your lock ring, start it on. Then you just push it on with a screwdriver the rest of the way. And that's all there is to it. That should be some little soft stuff. Been my experience with these and the Mustangs in the comics that the holes don't line up. I don't think this is going to be any exception. Well, we'll try. So as you can see, I've already got it jacked up, got jack stands under it, and the fuel line is plugged solid. So I'm going to use this leftover piece I had from another roll, and hopefully it'll be long enough. If not, I do have another roll, but anyway, I'm going to crawl under there and try and make this work. So let's see how they ran the old lines. So we come, let's see what we got. This big one's the fuel, and it comes around here, drops dirt in my face, undercoat, heave, let go. A little further back, we got this. Pull it down. There's that. Also my first time being under here, be able to check on the condition of the exhaust. This may be a challenge to put duals on this thing, but it's what I want. Anyway, that's bolted all the way around, so I've got to get that bolt out. Appears to be 1/2 inch. Also while I'm at it, go ahead and start popping these brake lines loose if I can. These shouldn't be too bad to replace. Definitely want to replace. Yeah, that ain't gonna be bad. Oh, come on. Well, they never get coming out. I'm glad you decided asking nicely was okay. Yes, I do talk to my cars when I work on them. It's actually part of what gave me the idea to start the YouTube channel to begin with. Well, I talk to myself all the time. I can do this. Thing is, be honest with y'all, the thing is, I just need to learn to relax a little bit. My silliness is part of what made me say, yeah, I can do this. And I get all serious. So after that little technical difficulty, anyway, I found that this GoPro works better when you put a memory card in it. So just to recap y'all, in case I accidentally left some content out, I've removed this fuel line right here, and I just kind of yanked it out. I'm not it doesn't. Not every bend has to be perfect. If you're one of these people that bends your own lines and you want everything right, want to use a little more care than I did to remove it, and use your old one for a template. Me, all I care is the fuel gets from back here up here, and doesn't harm any harmful interference on the way. So how I'm going to start here is I got my spool. I'm going to start unwinding it. And I had a leftover piece of fuel line from another project sitting over there. I was kind of hoping it would work, and unfortunately it wasn't long enough. That's alright, I'll use it for something one day. So anyway, just doing this has got my length approximate. Slide this under, go between the tires. Come on, there you go. Now this middle line's fairly soft, and it bends fairly easily. Just, you want to be careful not to kink it. Any place where I got a tight turn, I'll use a tubing bender, but I don't know if I'm going to have any tight turns, so hopefully I won't need one. The brake line is a bit easier to hand bend, but the fuel line isn't bad. Anyway, we're just going to get fuel line up there. Right now we're just kind of looking for good enough. Length there. The rubber will take it the rest of the way. Put me a little down bend right there. Got that snapped in. Now, I know that seems a little minor in the grand scheme of things, that little snap. But that little snap's holding an awful lot. So I need to find, there's a bolt-in clip right here. I gotta find where I dropped that. And then just kind of go around, follow the path closest to what it was, and then run it back to where the tank is. Make sure I don't get any moving parts such as this drive shaft. I see that e-brake cable may turn into a little bit of an issue, but I can deal. Just get it back there to the tank. The old one was plugged solid. I guess I can show you that in a minute. My next order of business will be replace this brake line. Right now I just want it out of my way. Sometimes I really don't care to come under these things, but it's part of it. Dirty job, but somebody gotta do it. Alright, so I gotta get a rough idea how long it's gonna take to get over the axle and all. And since there's a rubber line that runs in between, I'm not gonna get too precise here. So I'm gonna pick a spot right there and slice it off. And I'm probably gonna have to get a couple self-tappers and put that thing in, but that's not a big deal. Now you can purchase these things pre-bent, and that's fine. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you're the saving money type, such as myself, I'm doing this to show you. But yeah, it's a little work. It ain't hard. And like I always say on this channel, I firmly believe if I can do this, you can do this. Again, I refer you to the thing at the beginning of the videos. I'm not a trained mechanic. I don't really know what I'm doing. Self-taught, just someone who loves cars and figure out how to work on them themselves. Also, while I'm at it, since I've all did that brake light, that brake light's so rusty, I'm just gonna zing zing get that off. Well, the right way to get those fittings off would be soak them down with some penetrating oil and take a wrench and do all that nice stuff. But when you're not interested in saving it, and you can tell it's just going to fight you, sometimes you just need a sawzall. Get out of here. Got my black tape on here, so we're going to try this again. And I got the plug out. Alright, so I'm going to have to do this from top side, but I've got it stuck up from down here. Alright, and just screw her on there. Got to remember I'm working backwards here. Now that I got that end attached, just crawl under the car. And this 3/16 brake line especially, very, very easy to manipulate. So use that to your advantage. Just break it down here, snap it in the existing bracket, or at least try to. You know, one of the shows I used to like to watch when I was younger, well, the Shade Tree Mechanic used to come on TNN. That show was awesome. But there was a show called This Old House and Do Yankee Workshop. I enjoy doing some woodworking too. But one of the things that the host used to always say was this: no more important rule than wearing these safety glasses. I was a kid, young and dumb, and I always kind of looked at that and went, pfft. Well, after getting several pieces of dirt and undercoating my eye, while not wearing safety glasses, I'm thinking maybe that guy wasn't so dumb after all. Anyway. I've been the crook in there just to hold it up now. But yeah, get that in there. Got to tie back a tube on here, then I can snip it off, tie it to the rubber line. Another thing I'll throw out there, I'm always learning stuff. I mean, I've been a car nut my whole life. I've been actively messing with old cars since the 90s. Yeah, I learn something new every day. Looking at that drip coming out of that brake line, I will throw out there that when changing the brake line, you may want to consider starting at the back and going to the front. This is going to be one of the more controversial things I do. Besides impersonating other people, y'all relax. I do that. I'm having fun. I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm just playing. Anyway, use a glass filter. Now, when I first started using these, like many other people that use them, I didn't know any better. And now I do, but I use them in a couple situations. One, I always do it where there's no chance of it coming in contact with something hot, because these things tend to leak when they get older, and that's just not a good thing. So I use it where I know it's not going to come in contact with an ignition source. But what I do like them for is when I'm putting them on something that's got an older gas tank and the sock's questionable. My Montego comes to mind. I run them back there to kind of act as a sock. Does the same thing, it's just that's turtle rather than internal. And then also, and that's why I'm using it here, is when I have to go from 3/8 to 5/16. I also know one day the fuel tank's new now, they'll be older one day. It'll be good to have a extra little filter back here to protect the pump. Certainly not going to hurt anything. And it's a little ways from the exhaust. I'm planning on moving the exhaust anyway. I'm a big fan of a side dump and a glass pack, so that's going to be leaving. So there won't be exhaust or anything hot back here to ignite this should I get a leak. So I'm not going to say not to use these filters. I'm not going to say use them or not use them, but if you are going to use them, just be careful and be smart in that they do tend to leak, and well, you don't want any problems. I sure don't. I don't want that for you. So anyway, fuel lines replaced. Like I said, I got a couple places I just kind of need to tether it up and see what's going on inside these drums. I can already see I'm going to have to put one new stud in here. Hopefully that won't be too bad. Even with it watch out, girls. Yeah. Not what I was hoping for, but can't say it's not what I expected. Saw a little movement. Alright, after much work, I finally managed to get the drum off. I'm actually a little encouraged by what I found in here. Apparently, before this thing was parked with something, somebody gave it the works. So, shoes are in great shape. I am going to change the wheel cylinders just because they're old and I don't trust them. But, yeah, we're actually not looking too bad here. Also, I got to figure out a way to get the stud out. I've smacked it a little bit with a hammer. I'm going to have to press a new stud in here. From the looks of things, that won't be hard at all. Just got to do it. So, anyway, let me see what's involved in getting this wheel cylinder changed. Alright, let's see if I can get this. Alright, so it's a new day. I'm back with the Falcon here. I'm going to try and make some progress on these rear brakes. Now, normally when I work on the back end of a car, I jack it up by the rear axle, picks both wheels up at the same time. However, what I did today was I jacked it up and used the subframe to hold the jack stand, and that will allow the rear axle to drop quite significantly on this car, and then you'll have the interference with the wheel and you just got more room to work on it when you allow the axle to drop. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this tire off. Alright, so I hadn't gone and reclaimed my spring tool yet, so I'm going to try it with a vice grip. I've never had good luck with anything except the spring tool, but hey, I'm going to give it a shot. Worst case, I'll just throw the drum back on it and go get my spring tool or get another one or the other. First thing, get these off. I usually use channel outs for this anyway. Now these shoes aren't in bad shape. Had I not already bought another set, I'd reuse these. But I got another set, so I'll just put the new ones on. Maybe something somewhere down the line will need these same shoes. I can use them for something else. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay these out. Oh crap, I forgot about the parking brake. That's a real pain in the neck. Oh well, I'll get through it. Since I'm going to replace that line, I'm just going to cut it because I'm having a little trouble getting off that block. Alright, so before I put the wheel cylinder back on, I'm going to go ahead and make up the line. And again, the reason for that is when I can move the wheel cylinder a little bit, it's not bolted down. It gives me a little more flexibility, and giving me that little bit of extra flexibility can really make it go on a lot easier. So anyway, again, pick me up a nut. One thing I'm going to do, put a little piece of electrical tape on it right in the line right here. Yes, he does that all day long. And he really likes to feed it the onions when he goes by the house. Put your nut on the correct way. I think last time I was working on this, which was earlier in the same episode, I was complaining about the quality of the tubing benders I've been getting. Well, on the old Evil Bay, I found this snap-on set for 20 bucks. There's the only thing wrong with it was missing this little T-handle that goes on there. But, you know, I have one of them from the old set, so I thought I'm in pretty good shape. So now I got a snap-on set. But anyway, just go do our double flare. Like normal, I gotta get it started. That's my first flare with a snap-on tool. She looks really good. Normally you only get a flare that pretty when you forget to put the nut on it. Anyway, let's install it. Alright, so first things first, feed it through that hole, but make sure you don't accidentally knock any dirt in it. And you hook it up there, where I still hadn't taken the fitting out. Alright, so after much work, I did manage to get it loose. So, go ahead, fish this through here. Try to keep it clean. Try. If you wonder why it's so wet, it's because I soaked it in PV Blaster. That old one was being a little stubborn to come off. Now it looks like I got that one good and rounded off. I'm going to call that good. And where's my new wheel cylinder? Is this the new one? Yes. So, anyway, looks like it prefers to go that way on there, so I'm going to take my cutter, cut it off, put another flare on it. Now, hindsight being 20/20, I should have gotten an approximate length on it and done both flares before I hooked it up. But heck, this will work fine. May not be perfect, but not the end of the world either. Alright, and there that goes. Now I'm going to pull it like that to do the flares. Okay, so one of the real advantages to using the GoPro is it gives a unique point of view. It also eliminates my body or my arm blocking view of something. But it also has its downsides. One, it's strapped to my head, so any movement I do, it does. And yes, it's true that you see what I see, but at the same time, it does that. The other things with the viewfinder screen, I can't see it because it's up here on my forehead. So, I didn't even know you could put these things in slow motion recording, but evidently you can. And I did that, and one of the things that happens when you go slow motion is mute. So anyway, I'm going to kind of narrate through this. Right here I'm hooking up the wheel cylinder. I'm bolting the wheel cylinder with the backing plate. Talk to you later. And now I'm putting, that's a parking brake spreader thingy, and it's got a spring on the front side. It's always on the front, so it depends on which side you're doing. Also, I put the shoes on the ground in the manner in which they came off the car, because one shoe has more material on it than the other. The front one on this one has less material than the rear. And I say this because, well, first time I ever rebuilt drum brakes, I didn't know the difference, so I just slapped them on there and I have them all screwed up. So anyway, take your new ones and you match them up. I'm using some new centric rotors. I don't know if the brand really matters. I think I got centric because they either ship with my Rock Auto order or they're the cheapest. So anyway, I'm going to get ready to stick them on. First thing is to stick it onto the parking brake thing. I'm going to get a clip out of my bag. There. It's kind of horseshoe shaped. And we get it on there, get it over top, and then once you're done, you squeeze it. Channel locks work well for this, but you can use any plier that you wish. I always prefer channel locks. Squeeze. Alright. I put the little pushers into the wheel cylinder. And kind of get your shoe in place. Now, drum brakes can be pretty aggravating. It took me a while to get comfortable with them. But it's one of these things, once I learned how to do it, there wasn't any way I was paying somebody else to do it again. Not unless I just needed it done quick and I didn't have time to do it. So anyway, once you get them on there, it's best to not do that. Anyway, thing to do now is go ahead and put your shoes up, and then put your retainers on towards the bottom. They're those things that look like nails, and they have a little spring and a cap that goes with them. And they make a tool for doing this. Sometimes I use the channel locks, but sometimes I just get lucky and I can push it on with my palm. So just repeat that process on the other side. Girls, stay. Nellie, Caroline, come. Alright, so now you go ahead and hook your springs in there. At first I'm going to attempt with channel locks, and that didn't work out so well for me. Now I'm going to try with a vice grip. That didn't work out so well either. So now I try with a pry bar, and lo and behold, it worked. I can tell you right now, I was actually pretty tickled. I couldn't believe that worked. Alright, so now, I guess my next step will be get this adjuster on. Took a break for a few minutes. It's pretty toasty out here. I think this is the first day this year it's at 90 degrees. And I'm pretty warm-natured, so. Anyway, hold that like that. I believe this is how it goes. Sure hope so anyway. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap up by putting this tire back on. Alright, so with that, I'm going to call it a day for today. I'm just going to pick up my tools, put the car back in. Hey, I'm over on the passenger side now. And my initial thought was to do the passenger side off camera. Because you seen one side, you seen them both. And I was just going to change my mind on that if something interesting came up on this side. And since I'm here talking to you, pretty obvious, yeah, something came up on this side. First of all, I'll show you this. My adjuster cable on this side is broken. Part of it's not even found. But I'll show you why I've elected to change the shoes out on this. So you can see right here, I'll try to show it to you. When I slid the drum off, we had some crumbling going on. And even though these shoes have no miles on them, I've had it before where the shoe material has come off just because the shoes were so old. I had that happen on my Mustang one time while I was driving, and it was actually the night that I got it out of the body shop, got my Mustang back, and that was pretty scary to have a brand new paint job and the shoes inside the drums just crumbled. So anyway, go play it safe and put new shoes on. Also, try to show you all this inside that drum. This drum is very, very heavily grooved. And I can see on the outside of the drum it says 66 Ford. So that's something else, but I can't quite read it, but I'm imagining it says Mustang, because the Mustang and the Falcon did share rear brake drums. But that thing is so heavily pitted. I did look into getting them turned. However, where I live, the nearest O'Reilly's in any direction is at least 10 miles away. And when I figure out the price of getting it turned and the price of fuel right now, it's not that much different than just getting a new drum. So Alright, so I've gone ahead and I finished rebuilding that brake drum over there. Drum's supposed to come in a few days. I ordered it earlier. And like I said, on this side we're going to have to change the wheel stud. So I haven't bled the brakes yet, but other than that, the rear brakes are done. But since I got up on the jack stand, I want to make sure I got this oil in the rear differential topped off. And a lot of drivers and owners of rear drive cars forget to do this. And hey, I'm kind of a guilty party myself. So anyway, it's not hard to do. I'll show you how to do it. You just, at least on a Ford, take a 1/2-inch drive socket, put it directly in there. It might take a little coaxing to get it to start. That plug, after you get started, it'll come right out. Then you really, like with this, you can get away with using one of the quart 32-ounce jugs. But especially if you're filling off a manual transmission, it really helps to have one of these pumps. So I just pump my oil into it. The oil is 80W90 gear oil. Now there's several weights of gear oil, and I'm no expert on what you should be using. I just looked up while I was doing my Fairlane. It said use 80W90. So I did. It worked. And when it starts to overflow like it is now, it's full. So just make sure your cap's clean. Rub it on this rag here. And tighten her up. It's an easy task, and it'll really help the life of your rear end. And just tighten your plug back up. Yep, that's all there is to it. So anyway, I'm starting to hear a few rumbles off in the distance. And I'm outside, so I guess that probably means I need to go ahead and clear up. I see the sky over that away is starting to get pretty dark, almost as dark as my black lab. And with the rumbles, I think I need to get this show on the road. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Two Labs Garage. We got this car a whole lot closer to being ready to go back on the road. We got a new fuel tank in there, and my suspicions were confirmed that the fuel lines were plugged solid. But that's okay, we got new lines on it. We've also we got new drum coming for this side, and I got a wheel stud coming for this side. After that, we'll bleed the brakes, and the back half of this car should be good to go for now anyway. Still want to reroute the exhaust, but that can wait. Anyway, when those parts come in, we should be able to get this car driving. I want to change the belts or the hoses. I already changed the belt, and I got my suspicions about the clutch. And one thing I found interesting working on this is, like, the entire brake system had been replaced. I found it had a new fuel pump on it. Someone had done a lot of work to get this car back on the road already. And while that's reassuring to know that there's been some work done to it since it was last on the road, it's also concerning because I know that the person that worked on this before gave up. And I haven't figured out why they gave up yet. I've seen one thing that kind of gave me an idea, but I don't know, wouldn't stop me. But I'm worried that I'm going to find something that made them give up. And so anyway, let's hope not. My big question now is, do I have a clutch? I just don't know because I hadn't attempted to run it. But overall, I truly believe we got a good car that will be ready to get on the road soon. And we'll have more episodes coming up on it. And hopefully, it won't be too long. We'll be taking this thing to a cruise in. Also, we got the channel, I call it the channel truck, that 7980 model Dodge truck I got. Got some content coming up on that. I've been working on that a little bit on and off. And anyway, I'm going to focus on that. And I got some other projects around here I'm going to work on and share with y'all, and who knows, maybe we come up with another revival. But anyway, take care, keep your projects going. If you could please hit the like and subscribe button. I've almost got enough view hours to be monetized, but I need more subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me get to that milestone. And when I get to that milestone, that's all stuff I can reinvest in the channel, and I can get more revivals and stuff like that in. So please like and subscribe. But anyway, see y'all soon. Keep your projects going and have a good day.